What's going on, Pixel Hackers? Christian Lovrecich from PixlFeed here. And in this video, we're going to talk about the future of Facebook ads and what to expect in 2022. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive right in. All right, so I've actually been holding out on recording this video. It's right now the end of January 2022 because I really wanted to get a feel for what was going on with the platform and where we were heading with the platform as far as like all the changes that we have been experiencing through, especially since 2021 with the introduction of iOS 14 and how it's changing the landscape when it comes to digital marketing as we speak. I mean, we're moving into a privacy world, which is not a bad thing, but it's just making things difficult for marketers like ourselves and people who own brands like I do, whether it's Shopify, WooCommerce, or whatever, or if you're just a media buyer, just running ads on Facebook or whatever. It's making your life very difficult. So when stuff like this happens in our world, we have to start thinking of what's coming ahead, what's going to happen in the future of the platform, so we can prepare better for it and be better at what we do. So here's a few things that I noticed of what's happening and what's going on, and how we have to react to it in order to get the best results that we can for from our ads and our efforts. So number one, the first thing that I'm noticing right away, and I talked about this in previous videos already, it's like account simplification. Facebook really wants to start simplifying everything that it is inside your accounts. They really want to start relying on the algorithm to do a lot of the work for you. So number one, they're actually getting rid of most objectives. We had 11 objectives. They're going to bring it up down to 6. So if you guys remember correctly, I actually have them in front of me. You got brand awareness, you got reach, you got traffic, you got engagement, you got app installs, video views, lead generation, messages, conversions, catalog sales, and store traffic. And now they're going to bring it down to awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotions, and sales. And at first you're like, oh my God, they're making my life a lot harder. Well, if you really think about it, most people don't even use the 11 objectives. So I actually have no problem with that. Simplification is the name of the game. It makes everything easier for everyone. So if you want to get sales for your store, you just go for the sales objective, and Facebook's going to do the work for you. The algorithm is going to do the heavy lifting for you. Okay. Next thing that we need to start thinking about is, as we move into this privacy first world, is browser cookies are going to go away, right? So we're going to have to rely on first party data even more moving forward, and server-side connections, server-side API connections. There's third-party softwares out there like Segmetrics. Well, no, Segmetrics is more for attribution tracking, but there's one called Elevar that's server-side API, so you can get better data from your store back to Facebook, so you can optimize better for those conversions. I'm actually testing it right now. So we're gonna have to start relying on third-party tools in order to get better first-party data for our campaigns and be able to optimize a lot quicker. Right now, unfortunately, you have to rely on third-party tools, but as we move forward, Facebook is working on all these things, and I'm sure they're going to figure out and make the whole conversion API section inside your Pixel a lot easier to use and a lot more efficient. So that's what's going to happen there. Again, going back to the data, the next one I'm going to talk about is going to be, pixel-based lookalikes are not as powerful anymore as they used to be, right? Because the pixel's being blocked by privacy tools and obviously Apple. So all that data is not coming back to Facebook. So as we move forward, again, first-party data is going to be super important, meaning that you're going to have to segment your email audiences. You're going to have to pull data from your Shopify stores or from your, if you do lead generation from your clients, you're going to have to pull your client lists, and then you're going to have to segment those lists into what makes sense for you. You're going to have to create, for example, a VIP list of people who spend $300 or more. If you're in sales and you're doing lead generation, you got to segment that list into people who purchase X or more, right? And that's how you're going to create your lookalikes to get better results in 2022. And not rely so heavily on the pixel-based lookalikes. So make sure you're compiling all this data on your end and you're segmenting your audiences to get better results. Okay. The next thing that I notice with Facebook is, and they're doing it right now, they're actually removing a lot of the interest targeting. Again, this is something that a lot of people are freaking out about, but it's really not a big deal. From experience, the interest that they're removing, their interests about, like tiny little interests, like for example, I always use the example of a boxer. So like, just name an amateur boxer that has, 1,000 followers or 1,000 likes or whatever it was. Those are the type of interests they're removing, and anything that can be, offensive, like, I don't know. I can't think of an example right now, but you know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it more broad with the targeting. So instead of going, the algorithm has gotten so much better at targeting that instead of targeting, Frenchies, German Shepherds, Dalmatians, Great Danes, you can just put dogs and the algorithm is going to do all the heavy lifting for you. And before you go, oh, Christian, I don't trust the algorithm. I can tell you right now, the issue with Facebook right now, it's not that they can't target the right people. The targeting is on point. I'm telling you, I've tested this numerous times on PC, on different burner phones, and the targeting is on point. I see relevant ads based on the profiles that I am using. So the targeting is not the issue here. The issue that Facebook is having, and it's making it difficult moving forward into 2022, it's going to be finding that objective. And, it doesn't mean that with the privacy, it's never going to happen. It's going to get better, but you guys got to remember, Facebook's algorithm has to relearn all over again with less data signals and bring that data into the platform in order for it to optimize and get better at it. Okay, so remember that. So don't worry too much about removal of targeting. Just, work with what you got. If you're doing dogs, just target dogs broad and stack a couple, whatever's left over. It's fine. Some accounts, if you have tons of data, wide open. You can run it wide open and it'll probably work. Just test both, just taste your first party lookalikes, test your interest, and test super broad. The other thing that we have to look forward to that Facebook is working on into 2022, it's they're actually building a new attribution system, and it was supposed to be out in January of 2022 for bigger accounts. So that's why you're going into your dashboards, and some of them are like completely blank, and you can't see your attribution, or it's completely off. I know I have accounts that are 60, 80% off, 20% off. I have one where it's like literally 100% off. I cannot see any of the purchases coming through on the Facebook dashboard. I'm actually using a tool called Segmetrics, and before you jump on me, I don't even have an affiliate link for it. That's what I'm using right now, so I can see where the purchases are coming from on that account. So they are working on a new attribution system. They're working on fixing their conversion API, so that's going to be a good thing. The next thing, back to the first party data and conversion API, and relying on the new attribution system is one of the biggest platforms out there, Shopify. Shopify is working together with Facebook to share their data. So actually, believe it or not, they're actually testing their own Shopify beta audiences, right? You got to think about it. Like if you run a store, Shopify has all this data of everyone who buys whatever. So if you have a dog store with dog toys, guess what? Shopify has the data for anyone and everyone who has purchased a dog toy. They know how much they spent. They know what type of product they bought. It's the same as Facebook. And now, they're working together with Facebook to share that data over, where you're going to be able to tap into these Shopify audiences. And the cool thing about it is they're all privacy compliant. So you don't have to know the person's name. You don't have to know anything about them. It's just, it's all anonymized, and it's just basically so-and-so purchase this dog toy. This is, their age demographic, but they don't give you the private information from the person. It's just data points. You got to remember, these algorithms work with data signals, and all they're looking for in the data signals is like, how old is this person? 25 to 35, 25 to 45. What geographic location and what type of toy? How much did they spend? What credit card did they use? As long as they have access to all that data and keep the person anonymous, we don't know who the person is, and it's all kept private, it's good to go. They can use that data and send it back to Facebook. So this is what they're all working on. So it's going to get better, guys. It's going to get better. It's the evolution of the platform and digital marketing in general. So that's the other thing. The next thing I want to talk about for Facebook is costs are going to increase. That's the reality of it. I don't know for how long. I don't know if it's going to be for the next 6 months. I don't know if it's going to be for the next year or so. But think about it this way. There's less active people on the platform. There's less people engaged in the platform, right? And there's only so much ad inventory. There's only so many placements that we can use to show our ads. There's only so many placements on the feed, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or the video placements and all that. So as we all fight for the same placements, right? And less people are active on the platform, guess what? It's supply and demand. Your costs are going to go up. And the only way those costs are going to go back down is by Facebook opening more inventory. Well, how are they going to do that? How are they going to open more inventory? This is when Meta comes into place. This is where the metaverse comes into play. Oculus, they own the hardware. They're opening the metaverse, which is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. So as soon as they release all that inventory, we have access to all those users, hopefully your costs are going to go back down once again. Now, is it going to be like a huge dip on your costs? I have no idea. It could be just a little bit for all I know. But what I can tell you for right now, costs are a little low because it's January. People are not dumping these huge budgets, but they're going to keep, as we move into later on down the year, the costs are going to keep going up. Okay, so keep that in mind. Costs are going to get higher. So think about your marketing budgets and how much you have to allocate some of that budget over to spend a little bit more to get better results. The other thing that you need to focus on 2022, and I think it's a shift that Facebook it's been doing for the past year and a half, or even, I think even before iOS 14. I mean, iOS 14 just helped move faster with it because they had shops before. And when iOS 14 hit, what they did is they released the shops again. Well, now in 2022, we need to concentrate on creating audiences and creating and getting our sales and leads inside the platform itself. What I mean by that, so instead of running traffic to your website, right, try running it to your Facebook shops. Make sure that your Facebook shops are set up. Make sure your catalogs are set up correctly. So when people go to your page and they look at your shop, it looks beautiful. All the products are clear with descriptions and looking good, right? So, and why is that? Because anything that happens inside Facebook itself, Facebook can keep track of it, and there's no one can stop that data. They have full view of that data, and they can optimize faster. So anything that happens inside Facebook itself, it's like the old days. They know everything about it. So guess what? It's much easier to deliver ads and to target people who are most likely to take part of an objective that you choose. For example, purchase. So as of right now, shops, ads to shops, they don't work that well. Pretty much have been mostly a waste of money. But as we move forward, my prediction is that the ads for shops are going to get better and better and better as Facebook gets more data back from everybody. Another thing that you have to concentrate on, that's going to be huge in 2022 for Facebook is going to be video. And why is that? Well, two things. One, everybody's moving towards video. Like if you go inside your Instagram account, most of the posts are video, they're reels. TikTok is huge. Facebook wants to compete with TikTok, so they're pushing video. They've been pushing video for a long time now, but now we're pivoting into full video posting from its users. And the cool thing about video is that as advertisers, it's easier for us to tell a story with video than it is with just an image. So it's easier for you to show off what your product is in 15 or 30 seconds than it is on an image. You can actually tell a story. And the other advantage of that is that, again, it goes back to what I just mentioned. We can create audiences inside the platform based on how much of the video your users watch. How much are they watching the video? And we can build, first-party data audiences inside Facebook that we can retarget with an engagement purchase campaign, or we can create audiences audiences out of it. And those audiences do really well because guess what? The data is inside Facebook itself. So I think that's all I got for you guys as far as like my prediction for Facebook ads 2022. If you guys want to keep up with it, where we're going, heading with it, and how I'm making changes and how I'm structuring accounts and building accounts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out one of the videos right above me. And I will see you guys in the next video.